The world is waking up to the power of tokenization. From currencies to carbon credits, real estate to shareholdings, any asset can now be represented digitally by a token. Central and commercial banks, asset managers and companies of all sizes are embracing the benefits of these digital assets and improving liquidity, cost efficiency and transparency as a result. But until now, creating secure tokens and managing them required a high level of investment and specialist knowledge unique to each blockchain, and any mistake could expose your assets to risk. Now, with Overledger platform from Quant, you can create and deploy enterprise-grade secure smart tokens for any use case on any chain. All of this with zero coding, and your tokens will always be blockchain agnostic and behave as you determine. And there's no compromise on security or functionality. Overledger embeds trust and adaptability into the tokenization process of our function-rich smart contracts, so you can leverage the power of tokenization with confidence and create the future. Overledger platform, the enterprise standard for building on blockchain.
From Mr. Man, I want to talk about this. So we know that in Taiwan, for instance, semiconductors are a big thing. How am I tying this into the likes of Quant and all this stuff? Just watch this example. So for one, from Mr. Man, he says, if a semiconductor company such as Tower Semiconductor can shoot up to over 8,855%, I don't see why financial infrastructure wouldn't experience a similar rise in value. True. He's got, all those ones we just talked about, right? For me, it's this, right? Because people have asked me about this. Max, what about Quant? All right. Here's what I want you to think about. All right. So for one, you saw in the past, Mr. Larry Fink talk about, the tokenization of assets and putting that basically into, on blockchain and these other things that we talk about, DLT and whatnot. What does that actually look like? For me, it's like, you better believe that, like what Quant Crypto was talking about. He was like, you better believe that Larry Fink knows about BSV, right? Well, at the same time, you better believe Larry Fink knows about Quant Network. He himself might not go online and do all this research that we're doing, but he definitely has somebody who's given him the memo about some of this stuff. Because, if you're talking about the tokenization of all this, then what better more to have an easy platform for institutions to come in and tokenize just that. Last I checked, that is literally Quant big time, right? Being able to come in with, do 3 lines of code, if that, and just make it really, really easy. Do you understand what it means to tokenize assets and do just that, put on blockchain? So for one, we know that when it comes to specifically BlackRock, 10 trillion in assets, again, guys, like I said, even at like 10%, that's roughly over, well, because you got to keep in mind the market is not exactly, or BlackRock's not right at 10 trillion even, so I think it's a little bit over. So that comes in, it becomes tokenized. That literally doubles our current overall crypto market, right? Because of 10% from that 10 trillion. So that becomes tokenized. Obviously, it's going to be a lot higher than that. We'll just lowball it at that. So for one, the overall crypto market, and I'm going to show you an example of the overall crypto market just to give you that visualization. We've seen an increase, but can you imagine if BlackRock in itself came in, themselves would boost this up to 2.07 trillion, give or take. That's a big, big deal. Okay. What about State Street or something like that? All right. Let's say, for instance, they come in and they bring 250 billion. All right. That increases it. A Vanguard. All right. Now let's say, that's like a 500 billion. I'm just saying, give or take. All right. So next thing you know, this thing starts leapfrogging itself, because especially when it comes to the talks of ETFs and so on, you see the market get back to previous all-time highs that you saw at the end of 2021. But if you have a case where, we do talk about the BlackRocks and so on, come on, guys. Are we still oblivious to all this? Look at BTC. Look where it's at currently speaking. It only has a market cap of 522 billion. Some people say, well, like, only Max, are you kidding me? I'm new to crypto. That sounds like a lot of money. And that's the number one. True, it's the number one. Were you aware that Bitcoin originally was way higher than that? I should say originally, back in late 2021, right? Well into the trillions. Okay. So imagine you have a new player. I should say a new player, but you have the likes of Quant. You have the likes of Overledger, right? And you're tokenizing, let's say, not just BlackRock, but some of these other ones, right? Literally, like Larry Fink said, tokenizing that. Like, what kind of can you imagine the value of that? This is where we talk about some of you guys never seen anything go parabolic overnight. Remember that example we gave at the very beginning of the show, talking about that one day where it literally says BTC, like literally in one day could just go crazy, parabolic, right? I've seen that happen before. I saw it happen late 2021, right? 11/11/2021, boom, and went crazy. I think you start seeing that with the likes of something like with QNT, for instance. I truly believe it's going to be number one. So people don't agree with me on that. The reason why I state that is for multiple reasons, but we always talk about the institutional money, right? Institutional tokenization. You better believe that is going to cause the likes of Quant, for instance, to do some crazy things. So anyway, I want to show you an example from Mr. Man about how that actually looks. All right. Now, this, of course, is Tower Semiconductor. And like he says, companies like this can shoot well over 8,855%. But the key takeaway from you or for you should be that supply and demand. So if you have, again, the BlackRocks and so on, and some of these other ones, it creates so much supply and demand for the particular digital assets you hold that allows the utility of some of these things to happen. Let's play this. It's only 15 seconds. I won't even come out of the frame for this one. Isn't that nuts? Look at that. Look at that. Boom.
What the fuck?
Yeah, you don't think that we'll play it again. You don't think that can happen in crypto? Believe you me, if you've been paying attention to this stuff, that will definitely happen. And it's going to happen. What asset is it going to happen for you with? I'm putting my bet on Quant. Yeah, I'm putting my bet on QNT all the way. Now, some of you guys will also say XRP and so on. I get that. Hey, don't get me wrong. I'm looking at it from the perspective, who is going to be the new number one? Of course, XRP and all these other ones are, you could easily say a lot of these will probably be in the top 5. HBAR, I saw the video from Rich MaximusCrypto. He was talking about probably a top 5. Hey, I get it, right? But some big things could very well happen. Are you prepared for when all this happens? That's the bottom line. Are you truly? Do you understand the supply and demand of any of this stuff? Anyway, just thought I'd give you that example. Let me know what you think in that regard. Where you feel is like, nah, like that one guy from Crocodile Dundee Part 2, the Aborigine. Nah, needs garlic, right? Like, anyway, you get where I'm going.